All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into the story of a man named Gerald.
Okay.
He was a retired teacher,
Oh, interesting.
but he finds himself in a situation that I think most of us just can't even imagine.
Right.
Our source material reads like a short story, but
Yeah.
for this deep dive, we're going to treat everything as factual.
All right.
And what's really fascinating about the story is how it explores these themes of betrayal and kindness
Yeah.
and these like powerful moments in life where things completely shift.
Right.
Have you ever had one of those moments where
Yeah.
everything changed, for better or worse?
Definitely.
How did it impact you?
Oh, wow. I mean,
Yeah,
it's hard to even choose like one,
right.
you know,
Exactly.
like there's so many moments that kind of
Yeah.
define who we are.
Right.
But I think one that really sticks out is,
Yeah.
when I guess when I first
Yep.
decided to really pursue this career,
Right.
it was a huge risk.
Yeah.
I was leaving behind a pretty stable job
Mm-hmm.
to jump into something completely unknown.
Right.
But it was also incredibly exhilarating.
Yeah.
Like, I finally felt like I was following my true passion,
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
and it was scary,
Mm.
but it was also like the best decision I ever made.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how one decision
Right.
can just have this ripple effect,
Yeah.
and just completely change the course of your life.
Totally. And like going back to Gerald, what immediately struck me about his story
Mm-hmm.
was that sharp contrast between,
Right?
his past as this respected teacher
Yeah.
and then his current reality.
Right.
He's homeless.
It's wild
Yeah,
and
this-
abandoned.
Yeah. And I mean, it makes you think,
Yeah.
like, this isn't just a story about,
Right.
One man's misfortune.
Right.
It really makes you think about
Mm.
how fragile life can be.
Yeah.
And how easily we can find ourselves
Right.
in these situations that we never thought we'd be in. Exactly. And the source material doesn't hold back on the details either.
No, really.
Like, it paints this vivid picture
Okay.
of Gerald huddled on this like freezing night
Wow.
and the wind's like cutting through his thin coat.
Oh, geez.
And he's even turned away from a restaurant.
Oh, no.
He's dismissed as just another beggar.
That's awful.
It's rough.
Especially that scene,
Yeah.
with the restaurant manager, like,
Yeah.
rejecting him so harshly.
Right.
I think it really highlights
Yeah.
how society just dehumanizes people
Right.
who are experiencing homelessness. It's
Mhm.
easy to forget
Yeah.
that these are individuals
Right.
with their own unique stories and struggles.
Right.
It's so easy to just see them as,
Yeah.
a problem or a statistic.
Right.
They're people,
Yeah, they're human beings with
Yeah.
their own experiences and their own,
Yeah, their own hopes and dreams
Yeah.
and fears.
And that's what makes the next part
Right.
so intriguing. This is where Barron Trump enters the picture.
Really?
I know that might sound unexpected,
Yeah.
but according to our source material,
Mm-hmm.
Barron plays this pivotal role in Gerald's journey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It's interesting, right?
it's super interesting.
You have Gerald, like, completely vulnerable
Yeah,
and alone,
yeah,
and then Barron,
yeah,
this figure of wealth and influence,
right.
arriving with security detail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But instead of ignoring Gerald,
Yeah.
he stops to acknowledge him,
Wow.
to
Yeah.
ask him why he's there.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
To just see him
As a person.
as a human,
Yeah.
and it goes beyond just asking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Barron immediately makes sure
Okay.
that Gerald gets a warm meal,
Wow.
a blanket, and some coffee.
That's amazing.
It's that, like, practical, immediate kindness
Right.
that really stands out to me.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
he doesn't just offer empty words.
He actually takes action.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
interesting because the source material leaves Barron's motivations open to interpretation.
Really?
It's almost as if the author wants us to grapple with,
Right.
that question of what drives acts of kindness.
Yeah.
Is it pure altruism,
Right.
or are there always these other factors involved?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Like, is there always an ulterior motive?
Right.
Or
Right.
can we ever truly be selfless
Right.
in our actions?
It's a great question.
I don't know.
And it makes the story so much more interesting
Right.
because you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
what's Barron's deal?
Yeah, what's his angle?
What's his angle?
Is it totally selfless?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's really clever. Like
Yeah.
the way the author
Right.
kind of leaves that open,
Right.
it makes you think about human nature
Totally.
and how we respond to people in need.
Yeah.
Like, are we ever truly just helping,
Or are we always looking for something in return?
or is it some combination of both?
Right.
Right.
It's complex.
It's complex.
Yeah.
So Barron ends up taking Gerald to a shelter he's funded.
Okay.
And it's described as being modest and welcoming.
Nice.
The smell of fresh bread
Okay.
fills the air.
I like that.
It's a far cry from
Yeah.
this like luxurious lifestyle you might associate with someone like Barron.
Yeah, like you would imagine.
Yeah.
Like a gold-plated shelter.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But it's like, it's humble.
It's humble.
Yeah.
And that detail really struck me too, because
Yeah.
the focus isn't on extravagance.
Yeah.
It's on creating a space where
Right.
people feel safe and cared for.
Exactly.
There's even this lovely description of Maria,
Okay.
the shelter manager,
Mhm.
whose warmth immediately puts Gerald at ease.
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah, like you can just feel
Yeah.
that sense of relief
Right.
when he walks in.
Yeah, and it's in this environment
Right.
that Gerald finally breaks down
Oh, right.
the weight of everything he's been through, the
Yeah.
abandonment,
Right.
the loneliness.
Yeah.
It just pours out.
It's like he finally feels safe enough
Yeah,
to let it all out.
to release it all.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the kindness
Yeah.
that he's been shown just cracks open a dam.
Right.
You know.
Like it's been building up for
Yeah.
so long.
And what's interesting is how Barron responds.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't try to fix things.
Right.
He doesn't offer empty platitudes.
Mhm.
He just sits with Gerald
Wow.
and offers the simple but profound piece of advice.
Okay, what's the advice?
He says, when you're strong again,
Mm.
help someone else.
That's good advice.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's simple, but it's so powerful.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's about
Yeah.
turning your pain into purpose,
Totally.
you know,
Yeah.
helping others
Yeah.
as a way to heal yourself.
It's like the cyclical nature of healing.
Right.
By helping others, we often end up helping ourselves.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's so true.
It's like giving back allows us to tap into a strength
Yeah.
we didn't know we had.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what starts to happen with Gerald.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he starts to find his footing again.
Okay.
He's helping out in the shelter kitchen.
Mhm.
He's organizing the library.
Nice.
He's even mentoring some of the kids who visit.
That's great.
Yeah,
It's awesome to see,
it is.
him kind of
Yeah.
reclaiming his life.
Right, and it's like finding purpose
Yeah,
in the midst of pain.
totally.
Like a way to transform our
Right.
own suffering into something meaningful.
Exactly.
And so,
Yeah.
things are looking up. He's getting back on his feet,
Mm-hmm.
but just as things are looking up,
Right.
Barron throws another curveball into the mix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What does he do?
He returns to the shelter
Okay.
with this mysterious proposition for Gerald.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Right?
I love
Well,
that.
but yeah,
It's like a cliffhanger.
it's a total cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And it makes you want to keep reading.
Right.
Like, what's going to happen next?
Exactly.
So Barron hands Gerald an envelope
Okay.
and tells him to open it when he's ready.
Ooh.
And it's almost like the symbolic gesture,
What?
like handing him the key
Yeah.
to his own future.
That's cool.
I know.
Yeah.
So later that night,
Oh.
Gerald opens the envelope
Mm-hmm.
and he finds a letter and a key. Dun, dun, dun.
A key to what?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Right.
That's a cliffhanger.
It's a total cliffhanger.
Okay, so what do you think is going through Gerald's mind
Right.
at this point?
Well, he's starting to rebuild his life,
Yeah.
but there's still a lot of uncertainty.
Right.
So I imagine he's feeling
Mm-hmm.
a mix of emotions.
Right, like hope. Maybe some anxiety.
Anxiety, nervousness.
Nervousness.
Curiosity.
Curiosity, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
he's got this mix of emotions swirling as he opens the letter.
Yeah.
And it's a total game changer.
Okay.
Barron has arranged for Gerald to have an apartment,
Wow.
a place of his own.
That's huge.
I know.
Yeah.
But there's a catch.
Oh, there's always a catch.
There's always a catch.
How does it?
The letter states that Gerald has to mentor others who are struggling,
Mm-hmm.
share his story,
Yeah.
and show them that hope still exists.
It's a good catch.
It's a pretty good catch.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, Barron's not just giving him a handout. He's challenging him
Yeah.
to step into this leadership role,
Wow.
to use his experiences to inspire others.
Exactly. It's like he's saying,
Yeah.
you've been through a lot.
Right.
You've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Now use that knowledge
Right.
to help others.
And pay it forward.
Yeah, pay it forward. That's amazing.
It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I think that's a really good place to stop for today.
right. Sounds good.
We'll pick up with part 2 next time.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome, me too.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So it's like Barron's giving Gerald this chance, to
Yeah.
turn his pain into purpose,
Yeah.
to become like this beacon of hope for others.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's powerful stuff.
And this apartment, too.
Yeah.
It's like more than just a place to live, you know? It's like a symbol of a fresh start.
Totally.
A clean slate.
Yeah. A chance to, like, rebuild his life.
Yeah, on his own terms.
Yeah.
And Gerald doesn't hesitate.
Oh, really?
He goes back to the shelter, gathers everyone, and shares his story.
Wow.
The highs, the lows.
Yeah.
And the unexpected kindness that pulled him back from the brink.
Right.
Sharing a story like that takes a lot of courage.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially one as raw and vulnerable as Gerald's.
Totally.
It makes you think,
right.
like, is the act of sharing itself part of the healing process?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because it's like, by speaking his truth, he's releasing some of that burden he's been carrying.
And totally like getting it off his chest.
Exactly.
You know, and I bet it resonated with the others at the shelter.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because they probably see their own struggles reflected in Gerald's journey.
Yeah, they're all kind of in the same boat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it creates this sense of like shared humanity.
Totally.
You know?
Like we're all in this together.
We're not alone in our struggles.
And that power is really brought to life
when
this young man approaches Gerald after hearing the story and asks, do you think I can rebuild too? And Gerald's response is immediate and unwavering.
What does he say?
He says, yes, and I'll help you every step of the way.
That's so sweet.
It's amazing.
It really shows how much Gerald is transformed.
Yeah.
He's gone from feeling completely lost
hopeless
to becoming a source of support.
Yeah, like a mentor.
For others.
A guide.
It's inspiring.
It is.
It really is.
And that ripple effect doesn't stop there.
Oh, really?
Word of Gerald's story starts to spread beyond the shelter walls.
Where does it go?
It even catches the attention of the media.
Wow, the media.
The media, that's big.
Yeah, and there's this scene where Maria shows Gerald this newspaper article with this headline. That reads, From Forgotten to Inspiring.
Oh, wow.
Think about the impact of that. Like, having your story where your struggles and your resilience recognized in such a public way.
It must be amazing.
Got to feel pretty good.
Yeah.
And this is where Barron re-enters the picture. He comes back to the shelter, this time with a reporter in tow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think he anticipated this?
It's hard to say. Like, did he know this was going to happen?
Yeah.
Or was he caught off guard?
Right.
Like, did he orchestrate this whole thing?
Yeah, like,
you know?
Is he using Gerald?
Yeah, or was it just like...
a good press.
Yeah. Is this like a happy accident?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's really interesting.
It's hard to know Barron's motivations. But he poses this question to Gerald. He says, are you ready to share your story?
Wow.
With the world?
That's a big step.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, Gerald could easily choose to keep his story within the confines of the shelter.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But he agrees.
He does.
He does.
Wow, that's huge.
Which suggests that he's ready to embrace this larger role.
Right.
You know?
You know, become an advocate for others who have been marginalized.
I love that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But just as his public profile is rising, he receives a letter that throws him into this whirlwind of emotions.
Oh, no.
It's from his youngest son, Ethan.
Wow. His son.
Yeah.
So, like, they weren't close.
They hadn't spoken in years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's this powerful reminder that even amidst positive change, the past can still hold a strong grip on us.
Right, like those wounds can still be there.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah.
And Ethan's letter is filled with apologies and this longing to reconnect.
Oh, that's sweet.
It is, but Gerald is understandably conflicted. You know, he's carrying the pain of being abandoned by his family.
Yeah.
But there's also that flicker of hope for reconciliation.
Right, because he still loves his son.
Right.
You know?
It's complex.
It's got to be so complex.
It is.
Yeah.
And the source material does a really good job of capturing that complexity.
Yeah.
Like there's this scene where Maria, the shelter manager, offers Gerald some wise advice.
Oh, that's nice.
She says, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting.
Okay.
It means freeing yourself from the weight of anger.
That's good advice.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's like...
It is deep.
It's not about condoning what happened.
Right.
It's about letting go of that negativity.
It's your own well-being.
Yeah.
It's self-care.
Exactly.
It's powerful.
Yeah.
And it's clear that Maria's words resonate with Gerald. He agrees to meet Ethan.
Oh.
And their reunion is just as emotionally charged as you might expect.
Oh, I bet.
Tears flow freely as Ethan expresses his remorse and admits that he made assumptions about his father's needs, thinking he was doing him a favor. Oh, wow.
By staying away.
That's got to be hard to hear.
Yeah.
You know?
And it really highlights those complexities of family dynamics.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, our attempts to protect our loved ones can sometimes backfire.
Totally.
And Gerald, in a moment of raw honesty, tells Ethan, I've always needed you.
Oh.
And it's this, like, heartbreaking admission that cuts through years of unspoken pain.
Right.
And resentment.
It's all those years of silence.
Yeah.
You know?
Just coming to the surface.
Yeah. And they finally have that conversation that they should have had years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they embrace.
Oh.
And you can almost feel that weight lifting off their shoulders.
It's a beautiful moment.
It is.
Yeah.
And during their conversation, Ethan reveals his own struggles.
Really?
Financial woes, relationship problems, you know, the guilt.
Yeah.
Of abandoning his father.
It's like everyone's fighting their own battles. Right. We never really know what someone else is going through.
Right.
Yeah.
And Gerald realizes that they could have faced those challenges together as a family.
Instead of suffering alone.
Instead of suffering in isolation.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad.
It is.
But it's also really beautiful.
Yeah.
Because it kind of speaks to the importance of connection.
Right.
You know?
Like, we don't have to do it alone.
Right, and how often do we isolate ourselves?
All the time.
When we're struggling.
Yeah, pushing people away.
When in reality, reaching out could be the thing that helps us get through.
That saves us.
Yeah. So inspired by his reconnection with Ethan, Gerald reaches out to his other children. They're initially hesitant.
Understandably.
But eventually they come around.
That's good.
Drawn by that desire to rebuild their fractured family.
It's great to see.
Yeah, it's really sweet. Them coming together.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's not just the family dynamic that's evolving.
Right.
Barron, too, reveals the surprising side to himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He invites Gerald to a private dinner.
Okay.
Which is a pretty unexpected gesture.
Yeah. Like,
you know?
Why? What's the occasion?
What's his angle?
Right. We're back to that question again.
Yeah. What's his motive?
What is motive?
You know? It's interesting because throughout the story, Barron's motivations have been kind of ambiguous.
Right. We never really know what he's thinking.
Right. So this dinner invitation suggests this desire for a deeper connection with Gerald.
Yeah, like a real relationship.
Like he wants to move beyond, you know, this like benefactor recipient.
Yeah, just transactional.
Transactional, exactly.
Yeah.
And over dinner, Barron opens up about his own struggles. Wow. He talks about feeling invisible, lost in the shadow of his family's fame.
Wow.
Grappling with loneliness.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect
that.
Someone like him to feel that way.
Right. And it's this powerful reminder that wealth and privilege don't shield us from emotional pain.
Totally.
It really humanizes Barron.
Yeah, it makes him relatable.
Yeah.
You know?
And he explains that seeing Gerald's plight resonated with his own experiences.
Oh, wow.
Which prompted him to offer help.
That's really interesting.
It is.
Yeah, because it creates this unexpected connection between two people from totally different backgrounds.
Yeah, like you would never
think.
Expect them to have anything in common.
No.
But they do.
Yeah.
They both know what it's like to feel alone.
To feel invisible.
To feel invisible.
Yeah.
And this shared understanding
leads to this remarkable collaboration.
Oh, wow. What do they do?
Barron and Gerald decide to launch this initiative called Second Chances.
Second Chances. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a program designed to empower those who have been marginalized.
That's amazing.
It is.
Yeah, like they're actually taking action.
They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, not just talking about it.
Right.
They're doing something.
They're doing something about it.
Yeah.
And so the shelter transforms into this bustling hub of activity as Second Chances take shape.
Yeah.
And Gerald is at the heart of it all.
Oh, that's great.
Mentoring new arrivals, sharing his story.
Inspiring others.
Inspiring hope.
Yeah.
And those who have lost their way.
It's like he's found his purpose.
He has.
Yeah.
He's found his purpose.
Yeah.
And his dedication doesn't go unnoticed.
Oh, really?
The media spotlight on second chances continues to grow.
And one day, Gerald receives a phone call that brings back a wave of painful memories.
Oh.
It's from the manager of the very restaurant that turned him away months ago.
Really?
Talk about a full circle moment.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, what are the chances?
Right. And it makes you wonder, would the manager have reached out if Gerald's story hadn't gone public? You know?
It's interesting, right?
It is.
Like, did he see the article?
Yeah, did he see the article?
And feel guilty.
And now he feels bad.
Right. Or was he going to reach out anyway?
Right.
You know?
It's hard to know.
It's hard to know.
And the manager's voice is filled with remorse as he expresses regret from how he treated Gerald.
Yeah.
And he asks for forgiveness, seeking a chance to make amends.
That's big of him.
It is.
To admit he was wrong.
And Gerald, embodying the very essence of second chances, extends forgiveness.
That's amazing.
I know. It's this powerful demonstration of the transformative power.
Of forgiveness.
Of compassion.
Yeah.
And it's not about condoning the manager's past actions.
Right.
It's about choosing to let go of the resentment.
Yeah. To move forward.
Yeah, and create space for healing and change.
A powerful message.
It is.
Yeah.
And the manager pledges his support to second chances.
Oh, wow.
Offering free meals.
That's great.
For those in need.
It's awesome.
It's a really tangible example of how one act of forgiveness can inspire positive change.
Totally.
And the impact of second chances continues to expand.
Okay.
Reaching heights that probably neither Barron nor Gerald could have imagined.
Yeah.
One day, Gerald receives an official-looking envelope that leaves him speechless.
What is it?
It's a letter.
A letter from who?
From the President of the United States.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Crazy.
That's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to how far Gerald's story has traveled, how it's touched people at the highest levels.
At the highest levels of government?
Of government.
Wow.
And the letter expresses admiration for Gerald's resilience and dedication to helping others. And the president invites Gerald to the White House.
To the White House.
To discuss expanding second chances on a national level.
That's incredible.
I know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think's going through his mind?
At this point, I think it's got to be a mix of emotions.
Right.
Excitement, maybe even a bit of disbelief.
Yeah, like, is this real?
Is this a dream? Am I being pumped? Yeah, right.
I love that.
But he recognizes the magnitude of this opportunity, you know, to really make a difference.
On a national level?
On a national level.
Oh, and he accepts the invitation.
He does.
He does. But before heading to Washington, he takes a moment for himself.
Okay.
A moment of quiet reflection. He visits his late wife's grave.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be emotional.
It is. Yeah. It's a really poignant scene.
Yeah.
Filled with this mix of sorrow and solace.
Right.
He speaks to her spirit. You know, shares his journey, the triumphs.
Yeah.
And his hope that he's making her proud.
That's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
And after that visit to the gravesite, Gerald seems to find this renewed sense of peace.
Oh, that's nice.
It is.
Yeah, like he's come full circle.
He has. He's no longer just surviving.
Right.
He's thriving.
He's thriving.
And he carries the memory of his wife with him as he steps into this new chapter.
That's great.
So the White House meeting is this turning point for second chances.
Okay.
Gerald sits across from the president.
Wow.
Flanked by Barron. And this team of advisors.
Right.
And he shares stories from the shelter. Bringing to life the struggles and triumphs of the people he serves.
I love that.
And his words are raw, authentic, and deeply moving.
It's powerful to hear those stories, you know, from the people.
Directly from the people.
Who have been impacted.
Who have lived it.
Yeah.
And his message clearly resonates because by the end of the meeting, the president announces a partnership with Second Chances.
Wow.
Pledging federal support You expand the initiative nationwide.
That's huge.
It is. Yeah. It's a remarkable achievement, really.
Yeah, it is.
And it's a testament to the power of one man's story.
Right.
To inspire change.
It shows you that
on a national level,
one person can make a difference.
Exactly.
It's really cool.
It really is.
It's wild, right? Like you think about the impact
that one person's story can have.
It's incredible.
And how it can spark this movement that touches so many lives.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What do I think?
What stands out to you as the most significant turning point in Gerald's journey?
That's a good question.
Was there like a particular moment where you felt like everything shifted?
You know, it's hard to pick just one.
Right.
But that scene where Gerald decides to share his story with the other residents at the shelter, I think that one's really powerful.
Okay.
It's like he crosses this threshold.
Yeah.
He goes from being a recipient of kindness to becoming a conduit for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally. And it's like that act of vulnerability just opened up this wellspring of empathy and connection.
Exactly.
And from there, the ripple effects just keep expanding.
And it's not just about Gerald's transformation either.
Right.
It's about all the people he inspires along the way.
Like Ethan.
Ethan.
His other children.
Yeah.
The restaurant manager.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants to make amends.
Wants to redeem himself.
Even Barron.
Yeah.
Who finds a deeper sense of purpose through this collaboration with Gerald.
It's like a chain reaction of kindness.
It is. And this idea of second chances. It's not just like a catchy name for a program.
It's more than that.
It's a philosophy that resonates on a human level.
We all make mistakes.
We all stumble and fall.
But it's that ability to offer and receive second chances that lets us grow.
Yeah, to learn.
To become better versions of ourselves.
Exactly.
And Gerald's story isn't just about individual transformation.
Right.
It's about systemic change as well.
Yeah, like he goes to the White House.
He goes to the White House.
To talk about expanding the program.
It's huge.
It's huge.
And it shows you that like grassroots movements can influence policy.
They can.
And create lasting change.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like even the most entrenched systems can be shifted.
Yeah.
When people come together with a shared vision.
It's inspiring.
It is.
Yeah.
And the story doesn't shy away from the challenges of implementing something like this.
It's not easy.
There's scenes where Gerald and Barron are grappling with bureaucracy,
red tape,
funding issues, all those roadblocks.
Yeah, those roadblocks.
But they don't give up.
No, they keep pushing forward.
They have this shared belief in the power of second chances.
And they make it happen.
They do.
It's amazing.
Years later, Second Chances is thriving.
Wow.
There are chapters all across the country.
That's incredible.
I know.
So many lives touched.
And there's this beautiful scene towards the end where Gerald's speaking at the shelter's anniversary celebration. He's surrounded by people whose lives have been transformed by second chances.
Yeah.
And he emphasizes that the success of second chances
isn't about him or Barron.
Right.
It's about the collective effort of all these people.
Who believe in second chances.
Who believe in second chances.
And who are putting in the work.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we all have a role to play in creating a more just
and compassionate
world. Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Gerald's story, I'm left with this question.
Okay.
How can we apply the lessons of second chances?
To our own lives.
To our own lives.
Yeah, that's a good question.
How can we cultivate a greater sense of compassion?
And understanding.
For others.
I think it starts with challenging our own biases.
Okay.
You know, like, who are the people we tend to overlook?
Right.
How can we make a conscious effort to see the humanity in everyone we encounter?
Regardless of their circumstances?
Regardless of their circumstances.
It might also involve looking for opportunities to offer support.
Right.
Whether it's volunteering our time.
Yeah, donate.
Donating to organizations.
We're just listening.
Just listening to someone who's going through a tough time.
Exactly.
So I think we've done a pretty thorough job.
We did it.
Of unpacking Gerald's journey.
His incredible journey.
It's a story that reminds us of the power of kindness.
Yeah.
The resilience of the human spirit.
Absolutely.
And the transformative potential.
Of second chances.
I
love it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep spreading kindness.
Spread the kindness.